Hey guys, welcome to Home Sweet Homeschool. My name is Ashley and I'm a homeschooling mom to one. And today I'm sharing video 2 of my series of fun ways to practice spelling. Spelling can be super boring, and so today I'm going to share with you some hands-on ways to practice spelling. If you're interested in the first video in this series is a paper and pencil version of just some different things you can do to make it fun. But today in this one, we're going to do the hands-on things. So the first thing I want to show you is probably the easiest, is what most people have on hand, and kids really enjoy it. And you can see them on my chalkboard here. So one thing kids love are magnetic letters or letter tiles. Now, I will tell you, most of these things I picked up from the Goodwill. Definitely go to the Goodwill. Look through the toys. That's where I found all of these. Look through the toys. Look through like their aisle that has notebooks and things like that on it, and you're going to find a variety of stuff like this. So we have letter tiles, we have magnetic letters, and then I was going to show you these that I also found there. So these are just letter cubes that have the uppercase and the lowercase on them. So when my child has to practice spelling, the first thing I do is write all of his words on index cards so that he has them and he can see what they look like, and so he'll keep that with him when he's working. Another thing that I do is I put them in a container. I go through all of his words and I go ahead and get all the letter tiles that he's going to need. You don't want to make it a laborious process for your kids so they have to search through all of those letter tiles. Go ahead and pick up the ones they need and put them into a container so that when they get ready to spell, they have every letter they need and they're not searching for them. And I got these containers at the Dollar Tree. So letter tiles are very fun, so they have what they need and then they can spell the word and then move on, and everything's right there with them. Another thing that I have that's along the lines of this is, and I got this idea from the Dollar Tree. I was there one day. I just picked up a bag of their rocks, and you can hardly see the letters written on them because my son has used these so much. What I liked about these is all the rocks were different shapes and sizes, and so I just went and wrote letters on each of them. And for the vowels and for the letters that are used a lot, like S and T, I made multiples of them. There was enough rocks in that bag that I could make multiples of each letter, especially the vowels. And so what I do with this is I just line them up on a tray in alphabetical order, and my son will take his card, which these are not his spelling words, but he will take his card and he will use the rocks to spell. So this is just written on with a metallic Sharpie, and this whole bag of rocks was $1, and my son absolutely loved it. So something as simple as rocks can be a really fun way to practice. Now, if you do not have these cubes, I was going to show you, I picked these up. These are just blank cubes. I picked these up at the Target Dollar Spot. They always have them at the beginning of the school year, and I've even seen these at the Dollar Tree, and they're just blank. They can be used for counting or whatever. But you can take a Sharpie and you can write the letters on them yourself and make your own cubes. You do not have to purchase these. You can make your own for $1. So this is another alternative to these. Here's some letter tiles that I actually picked up at Goodwill. These were only $1.91. I'm sure you can get these on Amazon, but this is just another version. They're just white. And then this is what the other cubes look like. And I picked these up at a yard sale. So I'm always on the lookout for things like this. When I go to yard sales, when I go to thrift stores or to the Goodwill, I'm always looking for things like this that we can use with spelling. Okay, another thing you can do with your spelling words, keep your cards so your kids have their words. You could play hangman. So this is a little Melissa and Doug hangman set. You don't necessarily need that to play hangman. You can play hangman on your whiteboard. You can play hangman on a piece of paper. But what I like is you could go ahead and have the word in mind that you want them to spell, and then they can guess, and you can play hangman. And this part right here is dry erase, so you can write the word at the bottom. Another thing I like to do while we have our words out to change it up a little bit is sometimes if you'll just give them something else to write on. Now you can tell here that our dry erase board is very loved, and he loves the color blue so much that this will not come clean. But letting them write on dry erase with their favorite color or marker. Another option is a boogie board. I picked up these boogie boards at Michael's. Michael's has them on the clearance aisle a lot at our Michael's. And I think I got 3 of them for hardly anything, but you can order them on Amazon. I really like these. If you've never seen a boogie board before, it's super neat. You can write B on there, and then you mash the button, and it disappears. So that's a fun way to practice. And another thing that you can do is just take a chalkboard. I think I picked this up at Walmart. And give your child a cup of water and a paintbrush and let them paint their word on here. Talk about mess-free. I mean, water, you could also use chalk if you wanted to. They could write it in chalk and then paint it. Whatever you want them to do, this just makes it a little more fun than just writing it on paper. Another thing my son likes to do is take a dry erase marker and write on the window. I'll pull up the blinds on our French door in our kitchen. I'll call out a word and he'll write it on the window, and he absolutely loves it. And think of how simple that is. And when you're done, give him the Windex and a rag and your window's clean. So you get spelling practice and cleaning in one shot. So that's always fun. All right, another thing I recommend are alphabet stamps. These are some I've had for years. Like I said in one of my other videos, I taught public school for 13 years. So I have a ton of things like this, but you can pick these up at the school box. You can get them on Amazon. They're everywhere. These are just lowercase letter stamps, and they're fun for your kids to stamp out their letters. And Target, if you go to the Target dollar spot, usually there are some colors of stamp or ink for stamps in Bullseye's Playground, whatever they call it now. They usually have like a 3-pack for $1. So you can usually find Christmas colors for December. You're just going to find all different colors, or you can just pick up a regular black stamp pad at Walmart. That's what I used in my classroom, and my kids loved it just the same as having these pretty colors. So stamps are super fun. Another thing I recommend is giving them a tray. So this tray is from the Dollar Tree, but you could pick a tray up anywhere. They have them at Michael's, they have them at Target. Getting a tray, giving them some Play-Doh. If you like for your kids to play with Play-Doh, but I think it's a great thing. They'll smush out the Play-Doh flat, and then let me show you what I have. Now you could use these. These can also be used in Play-Doh. You just want to make sure you clean it before you stick it in the Play-Doh, but they can be used in Play-Doh. But I bought these a few years ago from Lakeshore. Lakeshore is just a school supply place, but you could probably find these anywhere. And they are stamps for your Play-Doh. So you could take out the ones your kids are going to need, or you can put them in alphabetical order like I have them so they can find them, and they just stamp out their spelling word. And then they can ball the Play-Doh up, which is great, fine motor, and then flatten it out again and spell the next word. This thing that's holding them is an ice cube tray from Walmart, and it was perfect for these. It holds them, it keeps them all put up, and I can go store them in our homeschool closet with no problem. So Play-Doh and Play-Doh stamps. Okay, another thing with the tray, so we have our words and we have our tray, and then I have some erasers from the Target dollar spot. Now, if you haven't noticed the theme yet, I'm crazy about the Target dollar spot, and I have quite a few erasers. Now, you can pick up erasers in a lot of places, but to me, that's the best place to get them because you get so many. We use these in our classroom for so many things, but spelling out our sight words and our spelling words was one of them. So this is the Halloween ones, but you could use any of them. And so they'll just take their card and they will try to make the letters to spell the word. So we're working on our B right now for B. And it's so cute and so simple, but the kids really love it. Now, if your kids struggle and can't do it on their own, you can print them out, the words, on PowerPoint. You can make the words big, or I just wrote them big on an index card, and then they can take they can take their erasers themselves and cover up the word. So you can do it either way. Whatever works for you, letting them build it on their own. They may have to start off doing this, and then as they get more practice, they might can do it on their own. So this is a real fun activity, and it's really cheap. All these erasers are just $1. While I have these word cards out, I wanted to show you this. So of course they're going to have more words than just 3. So what I would do is I would take all their words and put them on index cards or post-it notes or cute little cutouts for the season, whatever you want to do. And then you need a wind-up toy. Now, this was from McDonald's. It was just in one of the Happy Meals, and so I grabbed it. But you can buy wind-up toys, I know, at Party City. What you do is your child will wind up the toy. You're going to let the wind-up toy walk, and whichever word the wind-up toy lands on, that's the word that they spell. So, Snoopy's having a hard time. He's walking backwards. That's weird. So anyway, we would let him walk, and let's say he landed on me. Me is the word your child would spell. They could write it. They could spell it out loud. Whichever one you want to do. Then you wind it up and do it again. And that just makes it fun because you don't know where Snoopy's going to land. Now, my last thing, and you could use anything. You could use an actual computer if you wanted to practice typing skills. But I got this. It's called a Mail Station 120. It doesn't work. It came from the Goodwill. And in my classroom, I would always go to the Goodwill and purchase computer keyboards if you don't have them laying around in your basement, which I've noticed a lot of people do. But if you don't, the Goodwill always has just like random keyboards from a computer. And so I would buy the keyboard and cut off the cord, and I would keep like 2 or 3 in my WordWork Center. And the kids could take their word cards, which is what I did. I showed them how to sit them up here so they could see it, and then they type the words. So they're getting some typing practice, and they're spelling the words at the same time. And then they can just change their word, and then they can type the next one. It's very simple, super, super easy. So I hope this video was helpful, and I hope it gave you some hands-on fun ways to practice spelling. So the next time your kids start complaining that spelling is boring and why do they have to practice, pull out one of these ideas instead of doing paper and pencil and see if they have a little fun with it, or let them write on the windows. If you have any more suggestions, I would love to hear what you do to make spelling fun, so please leave those in the comments below. Share this with your friends that their kids may be struggling with spelling practice. Check out my first video on some paper and pencil if that's kind of your thing. And like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching.